And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another month, another edition of the Enki Pro Series and the Enki Epic Series. I'm of course your host, VIP. With you, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all to something a little bit different, something a little bit special. Welcome to a replay cast. For those that are curious, for those that are unaware, this is a very special show match that Enki did organize. If you don't know who Enki is, shame on you, papi, shame on you. But Enki, he is basically, imagine, say, the wardy or the lurker or the winter of the Latin American region. And Enki, he's the main Spanish caster. He's the main Spanish caster. He does cover everything that he can in Spanish. Oh, actually, you know what? He's like the Ducklings, but Spanish. there you go, papi, there you go. He's a good friend. He's a good, dear friend. Hermoso, papi, hermoso. Enki, we go way, way back, and he is very passionate, of course, when it comes to covering events. He used to be a part of Alpha X back in the day, and of course he has been now hosting and organizing his own show matches. For the past 2 months, he's been hosting the Super Series show match, the Enki Super Series, and those have been best of 9s in SC2. We will be featuring one of those show matches later on tonight, but he just started a new show match series called not the Super Series, but the Epic Series, the Enki Epic Series #1. This is a show match in StarCraft Evolution, not in StarCraft 2. So now Epic, he has two kind of series going on. He has the Epic Series, which is StarCraft Evolution, and he has the Super Series, which is StarCraft 2. So he has those two monthly show matches that are going concurrently alongside each other. Now, I say replay cast, these matches were broadcasted, and he did host these events a couple of weeks ago, or last week I should say. We weren't able to cover it live at the time. We were covering another event, as we usually do, but it was only casted in Spanish. Enki, he's a Spanish cast, of course, so it was only cast in Spanish, so we are here bringing it to you live for the first time in English. And Inglés, but here we go. So we have our fresh best of 9 ready for you. Oh boy. Now, when it comes to StarCraft Evolution, ByuN has been a lot more well-versed. If you've been watching recent StarCraft Evolution King of the Hills or StarCraft Evolution leagues, then you would know that ByuN has been a lot more active basically over the past month. He wasn't active from the beginning, but over the past month, over the past maybe 3 weeks, he has been playing more and more StarCraft Evolution. He's been having a lot of fun with it. He's been enjoying himself. We actually featured ByuN in a show match against Dark in StarCraft Evolution like 2 weeks ago. So it's been a blast to cast and cover ByuN in that kind of setting here. Likewise, herO, less so. herO, he has been playing a little bit of StarCraft Evolution, but only for fun. I remember asking him, I believe it was last month in StarCraft Evolution League, where I saw herO on the bracket. I was like, oh, like you're playing here tonight. Have you been playing much? And he's like, nope. He's like, I have not played at all. I'm just playing for fun. I have no idea what's going on. And that's when he went up against Skillus. He got knocked down by Skillus, and he got 12 pulled, drone pulled by the Zerg player from Hong Kong, Cots 12 pull drone pulled here the hell out of the tournament. it was crazy. So here he's a little bit less versed. Because of that, coming into this, I do favor ByuN coming into the best of 9 show match, but it's also been, you know, like a month since we last saw herO in StarCraft Evolution League, so I'm sure he has been maybe practicing or at least playing and then dipping his toes a little bit more into StarCraft Evolution, and we'll see how he compares. We'll see how he compares to ByuN. It's going to be an uphill battle, but we're here to find out. I believe, papi, I believe. Here we go. We're jumping into game 1. Game 1 is going to be on Frostline. Coming into game 1, ByuN is going to be playing Brood War Terran, and herO is going to be playing SC2 Protoss. Here we go. After we wrap up the series, then we'll be jumping into the Super Series, which will be Clem and Dark facing off in StarCraft 2. But here we go, spawning into the right-hand corner of Frostline, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. God damn it. I need to get my Google lens. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Brood War Terran player, the Red Terran. It is ByuN for Shopify. And if we have any translations in the chat, I would appreciate. I'm going to be using some rough Google translations, doing the best that I can. Even herO doesn't know what ByuN's saying. Okay. They're talking about a specific player, I believe, but they were saying stress-free games. That's stress-free. Okay, interesting. Balanced? Maybe. Double gas opener. Meanwhile, we do have a double gas opener here out of ByuN. I should wind it back though a little bit and re-emphasize. Oh, let's go. Oh, he beat best, right? I mentioned that they mentioned a player's name in StarCraft 1, and Kiwi, and he's translating, letting us know that ByuN beat best. That's impressive. Okay. Now, when did he beat him though? That's the question. But let's go, Bobby. Let's go. So now we're going to be settling in. When it comes to StarCraft Evolution, for those of you that maybe haven't tuned into this before, this is a mod that brings together Brood War and SE2. They face off against each other. This mod is very often balanced. I want to say that they patch this on a regular monthly basis, sometimes even like intermittent patches within the month as well. So it gets updated and patched quite a lot to balance the game. Also, it gets updated and balanced quite a lot when it comes to adding new maps and updating the map pool as well. So there's a lot of support, there's a lot of work and effort put in this mod. Same when it comes to adding unique models for units and unique models for buildings as well. So a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of passion has been put into this mod. Very often we do see people tuning in maybe for the first time and they're like, oh, so like, is this OP in this, or is this like I should say like Imba or favored, or like what's like the best race or the best units or the best composition. It's like, well, I mean, it changes over time, just because again, if there ever is something that is a little bit unfair or is a little bit too strong, then it is of course patched and balanced out and adjusted. What I will emphasize is that all the balance patches, they only adjust the Brood War side of things to be balanced against the SE2 side of things. They don't touch the balance for StarCraft 2 units. They don't touch the balance for StarCraft 2 from the StarCraft 2 side. That is kind of the base game, as it always is. They only ever adjust like the Brood War instead. Just as a heads up. Meanwhile, we do open up double factory, so double gas opening into double factory into mass vulture. The adept scout here does kind of confirm what's going on. herO with the DC, he did confirm the double gas, he confirmed the lack of CC, he did not see the second factory, so he has a piece of the puzzle. herO will see if we can piece it all together. Meanwhile, we are just going massive vulture. This is one of the two builds that ByuN is very fond of. He's very fond of 3-vac stim timings, and I'm sure we'll see that at some point in the series, but here it's essentially a one-base all-in. Mass vulture, spider mines on the way, ion thrusters on the way as well. That is vulture speed, and of course the ability for vultures to throw down those spider mines. That is in a sense a charge-based ability. Vultures, they do hold a set number of charges within them of spider mines, and they can throw them down, and mate, they pop off. They're insane. And here we go. As herO did open Stargate, that means he has that much less to work with on the ground. The Oracle moves out across the map. As he moves out, ByuN, he's moving in. Now ByuN, he has very little to defend. He has nothing to defend, and he's just sending it across the map. Does dive in, takes down the first adept. One adept goes down, the second adept is going to be falling as well. And can he get that final adept? He ignores it, he just goes straight for the mineral line, straight for the ramp. A spider mine's going to be thrown down, covering the ramp itself. Does get in, probe's going to be falling. At the same time, Oracle does head across the map. SCVs are going down, so are probes. And I want to say vultures will kill more here. The Oracle is limited by its energy. I mean, can get some SCV kills, but alas, so many probes are going down. 16 17 probes are going to be falling. Every worker in the mineral line. At the same time, we get more vultures coming in towards the natural. Spider mines being thrown down. Brutal connections. Adepts do fall. And this should just be too much. This should be game here, as we are not stopping. We are not slowing down. We have some oracles to defend, but oracles, they can't kill this in time. Again, the oracles are getting some damage done across the map. ByuN, he evacuates the SCVs. He gets the hell out of there. He pulls away. And oh my god, and there's nothing left. There's nothing left here. We have what? We have we have up to 5 workers. Now, technically, these oracles will never die. True, but we have a Goliath on the way. A Goliath is in production. We have some anti-air. Oh, the boys have to be careful. But Goliath is in production. We have 2 Goliaths here in production for ByuN. SCVs are being hunted down. And here he can remake those workers, but the vultures, they come back in. Oh! He's going back for the dive. Oh no. Yeah, he can one-shot probes. He can, and he will. Takes on every single worker. Goliaths have arrived, and they zone away the Oracle. And Goliaths, they will allow ByuN to maintain himself back at home. 2 Goliaths. Now, who wins this fight? We have 3 Oracles and 2 Goliaths. Now, here, okay, he has to be careful. Does have to be careful here. Now, technically, 3 Goliaths. 3 Goliaths. Now, ByuN, 4 Goliaths. I feel ByuN, he's fine. With 4 Goliaths against 3 Oracles, he should be perfectly fine. He can also pull the boys and repair. He can also pull the boys and try to repair if need be. Goliaths, they stand their ground. Yeah, they take out 1 Oracle, he gets 1, he gets 2, there's the repair. And ByuN holds. ByuN, he holds, he shuts down the Oracle. The question mark. GG gets called. ByuN, he holds, he defends, and ByuN takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. We went down to barely any workers remaining, but at the end of the day, ByuN could shoot up, and alas, the Oracles, they could not achieve any more damage there. GG, well played. ByuN takes the first game. Oh my god. GG. The question marks, Papi, the question marks. He's like, that's not a Thor. What's going on? How could you afford that? It's like, Papi, Mech actually has some decent anti-air early on. It's crazy. GG, well played. ByuN, he was able to wreak havoc. He was able to cripple the economy and successfully defend back at home. With that, ByuN takes a lead in the series. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss. Once again, rocking SC2. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Terran player, the red Terran himself, the Brood War Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. Here we go. Who needs Hellions when you have Vultures? Vultures, they are superior Hellions. Like I don't think it's very fair to really compare Vultures to Hellions, like the same way that I don't think it's fair to compare Reavers to Disruptors, just because they do play the role of multiple units. I would say I think it's better to say that a Vulture is like a hybrid, or it has the same role as specifically Hellion and Cyclone, right? Like Hellion and Cyclone. I mean, I guess Cyclone, sure, they have some anti-air. That is true. But Vultures, they're very fast. They also have a lot more utility when it comes to setting up minefields as well. Like Vultures, they're a lot more of a, maybe a better way of putting it is a well-rounded unit. It's it kind of takes the role, or takes multiple roles, as opposed to Hellions or Cyclones or Widowmines, which are a little bit more specialized in SC2. Similar with Reavers, for example. I think a lot of people are like, yo, why can't we like replace Disruptors with Reavers? When Reavers, they play the role of a Disruptor, but also the role of the Immortal as well. Like Immortals and Disruptors don't exist in Brood War, so Reavers, they have a little more instant damage, a little more impactful damage. They're very slow, they're very mobile, but like, again, they're a very different unit. Very different. And meanwhile, 3-Rack Sim. So we mentioned this earlier in the beginning of game 1. ByuN, he has 2 builds that he does rotate between. One is double factory mass vulture, 1 base all in, or here this is a stim timing, so 3-Rack stim timing. Now here he does confirm the 3-Racks is on the way. This leads into an academy, into early stim. Now this is a build that has been nerfed since this ShowMatch. This is a very prominent and very prevalent build in TVP from Brood War Terran against SC2 Protoss. If you're familiar with 3-Racks in SE2, you will know its potency. It also had its time in the meta a couple of years ago, back during the, oh god, I know what the map looks like, but Side Delta? I think it was Side Delta, I think so. Yeah, the Side Delta map pool. Basically, you go in Mass Marine, you go into your sim time, you go into your factory, into Starport, into your medevacs, and you just zoom it across the map. Or in TVP, I guess you hit without your medevacs as well. But it hits different, it hits harder in Brood War. The reasoning for this, one, you don't need any add-ons to actually get stim, you need the academy instead. But what that means here, the academy also gives you access to medics. Medics are a very powerful tool early on. In SE2, you would do this build without medics. You do it with just purely stim marines, and in SE2, because of that, every stim counts and every stim is precious because your army has no longevity. But in Brood War, here we go, because of the medic, you can stim more freely. This army has multiple stims instead, so this timing hits so hard in StarCraft Evolution, harder than it does in SE2. So this is like a superior build than what is available in SE2. Because of that, I'm concerned for herO. herO, he opens Stargate. He saw the 3-Racks, and even in SE2, Stargate openers are so fragile against this. Basically, these Oracles and these Phoenixes and the air units, they're not going to trade too well against this. They're not going to be too well defensively, I mean. They do pick off a couple of SCVs. But these oracles, they're going to be quite limited in how they can be used. I mean, five SCVs, not bad. 5 SCVs do go down. Now, for those that are curious how this build was nerfed in the past week, the medic was adjusted. So now, oh, guys, there we go. But now, if you play StarCraft Evolution currently, the medic healing rate was reduced. So medic healing was reduced. That was, I want to say, like 2 weeks ago, and also the medic HP was reduced as well, and the attack priority was increased. So the medic is a really powerful unit, and I'm sure we're about to see why. Meanwhile, so far, very nice damage. Oh my god. 9 SCVs do go down. 9 SCVs do fall. So far, herO doing a great job at just slowing this down, at picking away at the mineral line. Oh, ByuN does stim. ByuN stims, and his push is being delayed. Like, his push is being delayed, he's being kept at home. So far, herO doing a great job at buying time. Back behind this is throwing down shield batteries, getting a robo, getting into defensive immortal production. The longer this goes on, the better it is for herO. And ByuN, he can't move out, so that's going to be, what, 9 up to 10 SCV kills. Turret does complete. Going to be 13 SCV so far. And again, these turrets have been delayed. The oracles, they barely do escape. There's another turret here in the natural mineral line. herO, he pulls away. And this is best case scenario for herO. herO, he's done very well with these oracles. Again, he cannot fight this army head on with the oracles, but he can avoid it and he can kill SCVs. And again, this has delayed the push. And this means that herO, he has time to build up his army, to build up his immortal production, to get into a Bay, into Colossus. Speaking of a Bay, yep, there it is. Bay is on the way. When the first Colossus comes out, he holds 100%. All he needs is to buy time for that Colossus. Meanwhile, herO with map control, he rushes into the gold. We have seen this before out of herO. herO, he does this every now and then in PvP. He does this in PvT, more importantly, against SC2 Terran players on Amygdala. Scan reveals the setup, scan reveals the Bay. And ByuN, does he move out? Can he move out? Oh. As we spoke about the strength of this push, but ByuN isn't even able to push. Whew. So far so good. The Bay is almost done. Again, Colossus on the horizon. herO needs a little bit more time. And ByuN is transitioning. He's transitioning here into his factory, into his starport, most likely into a 3rd CC, into a longer game state. Yeah, siege mode on the way, so he's getting into biotank, and the game will continue. But what's important here isn't just that the game is continuing, is the fact that herO is getting away with this expansion, with the gold, at least for now. Now, ByuN, he does scout this, and it's very suspect. He sees one of the giant tumors was killed. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Something doesn't quite add up here. We'll see if ByuN does piece 2 and 2 together, and if he checks the center location. Once again, Oracle's keeping tabs on ByuN. ByuN, he does peel off towards the right-hand side. herO, he's aware, he's in position. He has force fields, he has the high ground. And herO is getting further ahead, as the gold base is now up and running and fully operational. Let's go. That's nice catch. Oh my god, very nice catch. As all 3 oracles go down. Ay. Not like this. Gold base not being taken. herO moving in. He's got his first Colossus. ByuN going for his own gold. herO, he sees everything. I don't think he necessarily wants to push into 2 tanks though. So herO, he does pull away, rotating, pivoting around, looking for another way in. ByuN currently still has no confirmation of the gold. Again, he did see the tumors being knocked down, but he doesn't exactly know what's happening. Right now, being more defensive. Oh, let's go. The hallucination to tank the tank shot. Speaking of, first volleys. He tanks 1, tanks 2 volleys. Oh my god, the first tank is going to go down. Massive pickoff. Very nice moves here from herO. Doesn't lose anything. Doesn't lose anything, not yet. Zealots have arrived. Charge is, halfway done. Uh-oh. Charge only halfway done. 2 tanks remaining. Nice spread. Moves in. Delays the CC. We'll get on top of that next tank. Tanks to do target down the Colossus. Colossus taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of volleys. But the Colossus does survive. Both tanks go down. And herO, he will barely not delay the expansion, but he might get the kill. He might, and looks like he will. Yeah, massive pick off at the same time though. Drop across the map. The gold base has been found. Worker's going to be falling. Both players, they will lose their gold bases. Yeah, gold goes down for the Terran. Gold goes down for the Protoss. I spoke too soon. Colossus comes in despite that 13 pro kills. Very nice counterattack by ByuN. Very nice. Yeah, he does bypass the main army. Drops over, heads towards the natural. There's the recall. herO, he does recall back home. Does recall in time. Whew. And we have a give and take. On the one hand, that was a great counterattack here by ByuN, but herO, he still has the Nexus. He still has the expansion, and ByuN does not. Remember, that was a kill on the CC. Oh. Dropship does get away. Does barely get away. Does pull back. As ByuN moves in. ByuN does move in. Again, he's now fully aware of the gold base. The pressure's on ByuN to break the gold. And he's getting caught on siege. Yeah, that's around here with the Zealots as well. Very nice force field. herO just collapsing on ByuN. Catches out the tanks, collapses on the bio. The juggling is real. The question... the question... Let's go. The question marks are real. GG, well played. I love the banter here. Game 1, herO question mark ByuN. Game 2, ByuN question marks herO. GG. That was beautiful. Oh my god. Hold on, I'm just trying to see if I can see what happened. ByuN said this is weak. I think he's referring to Terran. But GG. GG, well played. herO does tie things up. We have a back and forth. Let's go. And even though this build by ByuN, the build that he was going for here, is quite strong, and even though it was recently nerfed, we saw herO handle it quite nicely here. Again, showing that it can still be dealt with, of course. herO doing a great job with his oracles. Personally, I was really concerned. I was really concerned with the Stargate Oracle opener. The reasoning for this is because defensively, we have seen many a Protoss player fall and fail to defend just because of their lack of DPS and damage output and utility to survive against these stim timings. But that's not how herO used it. He didn't use it defensively. He was doing an amazing job here at harassing and at keeping ByuN at home, at just hitting the mineral line over and over again, picking off SCVs and ensuring that ByuN could not move out. So really nice setup there by herO, able to kind of turn water into wine a little bit there. And on top of that, I will say that the map is also a factor. We speak about this all the time. I didn't quite mention it in the game, but Amygdala is a very large map. Long rushes by ground, so these move outs, they take even longer to get across the map. They're more difficult to really achieve. You could argue that maybe this wasn't the best build of choice from ByuN when it comes to the map itself. Regardless, he went for it, and we saw that he couldn't actually make use of it. Also, part of the map, the gold base. That was another big factor as well, right? That herO, he was able to take the gold and have it uncontested for so long to take advantage of that to build up and to overwhelm. GG. GG, well played. So very nicely done there by herO. That leads us into game number 3, and we'll see who takes a lead in the series. Right now we're tied up 1-1, and now we're ready for game number 3. Let's go. Let us go. I think ByuN doesn't know the Brood War Terran meta. As is being stated, the StarCraft Evolution meta is not the same as the Brood War meta. It is a different game. It is a different dynamic. There are different things to consider and different things to take into that do come into effect when it comes to SE2 versus Brood War. I think it's important to just bear that in mind. I think there's been plenty of instances where people assume that certain interactions and certain compositions are the case when it comes to Brood War races, but that is not as applicable when it comes to StarCraft Evolution. It's important to kind of like consider it as its own unique entity. But here we go. Spawning in the top side of Sylphid, we do have our South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, the Brood War Protoss for the first time, tying up the series, bringing it back. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the StarCraft 2 Terran player, the Shopify Rebellion player, being forced into a tied series. It is ByuN. Here we go. Seems kind of bad to use SC2 tracks with brutal units. That is not what is occurring. again, I think it's very easy to think negatively of something just because ByuN lost a game, but ByuN has been performing very, very well. And again, I do apologize if I failed to explain some of the things that did take into place in that game, but a big reason for ByuN's kind of lackluster mid-game was the economic damage done that was being early on, was the fact that the gold base was taken early on as well. So here he had a greater economy than his opponents, more so than usual, because of events that took place during the game itself, which did kind of impact the flow, the state, the game. Just bear that in mind. For the time being, though, we do have our setup. herO, he does scout the left-hand side. He confirms that ByuN is nowhere to be found. I should emphasize this is a 3-player spawn map. 3-player spawn. We have the top side, left side, and right side as well. herO, he does set up the proxy. He's aware of the location of ByuN, and we are getting ready here to all in. For now, 2-gate opener. 2-gate opener, Master Dragoon is on the horizon here. herO, he rallies across the map. And do we go proxy Robo or just a gateway to reinforce? We have the answer, Robo. This should be for Reavers. So proxy Reaver on the way here for herO. Reavers, as you can imagine, are very slow units. We haven't seen them yet in this show match so far, but I imagine we'll be about to. We can also, of course, proxy Shuttle as well. And these Reavers, they hit hard. They are quite slow, but I mean, hey, that's why they're proxied. First Zealot does power walk across the map, will delay the CC. ByuN going for a double cast open into a faster factory. A safe play here by ByuN. Means faster Hellions, does open up Reactor Reaper Hellion. Does open up. Meanwhile, ByuN, he may have caught a glimpse of the Dragoons themselves, but still has incomplete information. First Zealot is going to get surrounded. First Zealot is dealt with. The Dragoons are moving in, and they will delay the CC. Yeah, the SCV should be targeted down. Nice delay. ByuN going to be stuck here on the one base. Behind this, still building up, and again, ByuN, he did not scout. He is not aware that the pylons are missing, that there is no expansion, that there is a proxy coming. And there it is, we have the Reavers on the way. So proxy bay, alongside the shuttle. First Dragoon goes down. Nice pick off here from ByuN. Does take down the first Dragoon, now chasing down the second. And does pick it off so far. Decent pickoffs here by ByuN, bearing in mind he can't afford to lose some SCVs as his opponent is one base all in. So these are acceptable trades here for ByuN, and his Cyclone is on the way. Getting to the Cyclones, here he pulls away for the time being. Meanwhile, the bay is done, Reaver is in production, and we're getting ready for the drop. Getting ready for the drop. Here we go, the Reaver is halfway done. herO, he did pull back, didn't expand. No expansion. herO, he doubles down. He's got Dragoon range on the way, reinforcing with Zealots. herO, he is still very much so one base all in. Shuttle speed is in production. And ByuN, he still has limited information. He still doesn't really know what's going on. He moves out across the map. That means he has that much less to defend back at home. ByuN zoned away. Reaver's coming in. Reaver does come in. Thankfully, not many SCVs here to worry about losing. First shot goes off. ByuN fending out his Marines. Again, nice spread. He avoids the splash damage. Oh, very nice spread. Yeah, losing one Marine at a time, and with that, he will shut this down. We'll lose a Hellion. Oh no! Does shut down the Reaver. Very nicely done. There's a scan. The shuttle does fall, and ByuN, he holds beautifully here. He shuts down the Reaver, shuts down the shuttle. That was an expensive loss for herO. Likewise, does zone back the army. Repairing the bunker, holding the line. And, I mean, there's no shuttle. The shuttle has to be rebuilt. The Reavers, they're waddling in. But now there's no support. Now there's no way to micro those Reavers, no way to pick them up. And the longer this goes on, the better it is for ByuN. Boys are being... Oh, no! Oh, my God. The boys are pulled into the Reaver shot. Very nice connection. Another shot goes off. Reaver goes down. And that was maybe the best fight that herO could have hoped for, but he cannot break this tank line. Yeah, cannot break this position. The tank will hold. Bunker's being rebuilt. Again, be careful about pulling the boys, Pappy. Ay, ay, ay. As we do have a second Reaver on the way, or a backup Reaver. Remember, still no expansion. herO, he's still all in. And ByuN, he now has a second tank. Up to 2 tanks. Bunker's being rebuilt. And his Vikings in position to try to get eyes on any kind of shuttle rotation. Reaver waddling in. Oh! Does scroll forward. The bunker should be broken. Once again, the boys are stacked. Oh, does pull away in time. Nice control there from ByuN. Does pull away. Tank boys, they pop up. They shut down the Dragoons. Oh my god. And ByuN, he will hold. He will shut down the Dragoons. Every single Dragoon going down. Reaver, oh sorry, the Raven from behind shuts down the Reaver. Viking lands. And ByuN holds. ByuN, he does hold on. I say that Viking taking a lot of hits. He did lose both tanks. herO moving in. Ooh, within tank range. Yeah, tank shots are brutal. herO, he's forced back. He denies the natural, but remember, herO's on one base. Like, denying the natural is not good enough. Like, ByuN, he preserves the SCVs. Uh oh. Scarab shot goes off. Does go off. Tank volley takes down the shuttle. Oh god, 3 Raven. Tank goes down. They do trade. But is there anything else here on the ground to support? Yeah, SCVs are falling one after the other, losing 10 SCVs. herO, has he done? Has he broken ByuN? The boys are being pulled. Oh my god. Going for the mass repair. There's the auto turret. Oh my god. Tank does get targeted down, and ByuN is barely holding on, but now he's losing too much. Now 11 SCVs go down, and herO is making his way into the production. Initially, ByuN had a solid defense, but he has been broken. It was close though. It was very, very close. herO barely breaking through. Tank is on the way. Tank does pop out. Once again, taking a lot of damage from those Dragoons. ByuN down to 25 SCVs. He still has a second orbital. herO, he's expanding. herO, he's backing off. He's expanding. He's taking his natural. ByuN, he has still preserved that orbital. He still has it. Of course, Banshee on the way. He can use the Banshee to harass across the map instead and try to hit the mineral line. Like, reinforcements at home are very limited. So the Banshee has a lot of potential. At the same time, I mean, it is risky to move out. Like, ByuN is still not secure. herO just containing. ByuN, he moves out with the Raven instead. Keeps the Banshee at home. Rebuilding his tank count. He does build the expansion. And now there's that much more pressure on ByuN. Oh! Reaver dropping to the main. Oh my god. 4 SCVs. 4 SCVs go down. Oh, getting up to 10. Yeah, 10 SCV kills. Nice damage here by herO. Does pull away. Does pull back. Another shot goes off. Oh, brutal connection on the Marines. Yeah, this time ByuN not able to split in time. Oh my god. Yeah, he's not splitting. Massive connections. ByuN, he turns back around. He was deflected. Oh, he's going for the tank. Yeah, he's going for it. And, oh my god. We'll get a shot off. We'll lose that Reaver. Reaver goes down. And here he now has an economic lead. Now he's got his natural up and running. He's still reinforcing to contain. Another Reaver has arrived. ByuN tries to break out, but it's not going to be easy, and he will lose everything here. Here he will shut this down. Nice control. Again, initially, ByuN, he was holding, but here he was able to break his way through regardless. Did bust through the tank line. Broke through the bunker. ByuN, he does harass across the map. He does a nice mining. It's good damage. Here going back into the mineral line. Oh no! Oh gosh, getting 6 more SCVs. Nice manual targeting there from herO as well. Does target the clumped SCVs. Shuttle is going to be zoned away. Shuttle zoned back. Alas, Reaver drops regardless, takes down the first tank, and the final tank is going to be overwhelmed. Here he is. Let's go. I love it. I love it. GG gets called, and herO, he will take a lead in the series at 2-1. GG. Hold on, I want to see what he said after he left. Hold on. Also, I would appreciate translations Hyper1 if you have them. Would appreciate. Where's my Google? There we go. He said, why are you like this? Oh no, leave me alone. Why are these so, oh there you go, why are these so strong? GG, well played. With that, herO takes the lead. herO does take a 2-1 lead over ByuN. Whew. And again, it was a very risky maneuver. As a reminder, herO was a one-base all-in. It was a one-base all-in, it was a proxy, and initially, ByuN was doing an amazing job holding and defending when it came down to having smaller units, a smaller sized army and a lower amount of units. But as the game progressed, as he was trying to fortify his natural, that's when he was broken. We saw that the tanks were targeted down one after the other. That's where he had a bit of a harder time holding on. Likewise, his units were clumping a little bit more frequently. And we saw the Reavers did excel. Likewise, good target firing out of herO, targeting down those tanks as quickly as possible. And with that, GG, well played. herO, he was able to barely break the natural and then just snowball from there, taking his own expansion, containing his opponent, even still getting into the main base. GG, well played. And we'll see if herO can extend that lead or if ByuN can bounce back. They're using too many shorthands. Translator won't pick them up easily. Fair enough. Oh, that's why we have the next best thing. That's why we have ByuN. Sorry, that's why we have Hyper1 in the chat. So just catching up. ByuN is actually the highest rated StarCraft Evolution player at the moment. That is interesting. I would still, personally, like skill-wise, I would still play Spirit above ByuN, but that's just because I've seen a lot more mid to late game out of Spirit. I think ByuN, at least from what we've seen so far in StarCraft Evolution League and Kung Fu Cup and in these events, ByuN has been very, like, I should say early to mid-game oriented. We've seen a little shorter games from ByuN, a lot more longer games out of Spirit. So two different sides maybe of the same coin, one being more Mac-oriented, the other being more aggressive. Maybe that's shading my bias a little bit when it comes to the placement of Spirit. But regardless, we're now getting into our next game. We are now getting into Ultra Love. If there's only one tank, then geometrically speaking, isn't a tank point? Oh no. Oh no. But here we go. This morning in the top, this morning in the right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we do have our South Korean Protoss player, our blue Protoss, our brutal Protoss even. It's leading the series at 2-1. We'll see if we can extend that lead, extend that series. It is herO. So I would appreciate translations. And this morning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran. It is, for Shopper Rebellion, down in the series, it is ByuN. Oh, now it's Enki's turn to question mark. We might get a translation out of ByuN, actually. We'll see. Just catching up in the chat. Here says Reaver so weak. I was about to say that it looks like they were talking about the strength of the Reaver. There we go. So weak, man. So weak. There you go. Shout out to ByuN. Shout out to ByuN for the translations. They cringe. Where's the ByuN? They cringe so much. That's a very ByuN thing to say. Crazy. They're whining. I mean, herO and ByuN, they've been having fun. They've been having fun, like, bantering together. They've both been laughing about it as well. I wouldn't say they're seriously whining or seriously complaining. They're having fun. Spirit isn't currently my leaderboard since he hasn't participated in over 3 weeks. I see. Here we go. We do see ByuN going for an economic opener, going for a Rax expand, so a more economic start here out of ByuN. Meanwhile, herO, he goes for his own gate cyber expand. So standard openers all around. This time there's no proxy. This time there's no cheese. We can see ByuN, he does scout. He does check here on the right hand side, making sure that he is safe and sound before settling into a longer game state. Hello, Mr. Melancholia. Hey lads, hope you're doing well. Papi, I see you, Papi, see you. Just woke up. ready for a day of casting once again, as always, Papi. As always, every day. Spirit getting bullied by a diamond player on Paradox doesn't count because they don't consider KFC for the ratings. We need to change that. Get that diamond player on the ratings. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. 2 best of 9s. He's insane. He's crazy, Pap. He's crazy. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. As here he does poke in. Looking to break down that front door. Likewise, we have our 1-1-1 here out of ByuN, going for a Cyclone. For now, ByuN just trying to buy time, just trying to deter his opponent, trying to deter herO. As the Cyclone does arrive. Also, I would imagine this ShowMatch would be added to any kind of like leaderboards that you would have, I would imagine, when it comes to gathering data. Expansion is being taken. Do see ByuN moving out. Meanwhile, unscattered. As he moves out, here he moves in. SCV's gonna be going down. ByuN getting punished. Getting what, 2, 3 SCV kills already, getting up to 4. Yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7 worker kills. Very nice damage. Mining is denied. At the same time, ByuN, he does commit a cross map, but bearing in mind these are vanilla Marines, there's no stim. Yeah, no stim, no combat shields. The boys are being pulled. Dragoons, they kite back well. Probes are going to be falling, but not nowhere near as many. Oh my god. As the Medevac is punished, getting 3 probe kills. herO, he does excel here. He won't be able to retake control of the natural, but solid damage nonetheless. herO does kite back. And ByuN holds. ByuN, he does hold on, still has that Medevac active. Behind this, getting into his own tank production. Meanwhile, herO not going into Reavers, at least not yet. Instead, going into a Citadel, Forger +1, and into Zealot legs. I'm assuming, or maybe heading towards Storm alongside this afterwards. Zealot legs are on the way. From here, we can go for the Temple Archives into Storm. We'll see what herO goes for. Oh no! Ooh, as that Medevac gets punished, massive pickoff. Oh no. What does he say? Man, why can't I see 2 units boost even more? Not like this. Oh god. I appreciate that Enki is also asking for translations. I appreciate it. The major Dragoons, they're broken. Yeah, Dragoon range is so crazy. Gotta respect the Dragoon, Pappy. We spoke about this before, but if you're curious, I would say that the strength of the Dragoons, I mean, I would not really compare them to the Stalker, but a big reason for that is because Stalkers are more mobile. Stalkers in that position, what would they do? They would blink, right? They would blink under the Medevac. Dragoons have no such mobility capability, so instead they have extra range to kind of supplement that in a way. I mean, we have spoken of nauseum as to the immobility of Broodor races, not just Broodor Protoss, but Broodor Terran, Broodor Zerg. I guess we'll bring that up if it ever does come up here when herO gets caught out of position, which probably will happen at some point in this series. For now though, we are moving out. Likewise, charge now done. As we did mention, it is going to be charged into Storm, so I appreciate that herO is mixing it up. We already got to feature the Reaver earlier in this series. Now we get to feature the Brood War Storm, the superior Storm, I would say. I love the effect. Even if it did less damage, even if it was less impactful, I just love the visuals of the Storm. And by no means is what I said accurate. Just saying that even if it was worse, like, it's still so cool to see the Storm itself. We'll get there. It's one of those things that makes me wish that, I mean, there's so much that you could do when it comes to skins in SE2, outside of just like UI console and unit skins, but even like effect skins like that would be so much fun to be able to like mix and match. You could argue that especially in a competitive setting, I mean, I say in a competitive setting, we already have it in our casting mods where we can just disable skins to make things look normal anyway, to the viewers and to the casters. but for a player experience, like things like that would have been amazing to see. If you remember, we kind of got that with the anniversary, specifically with the anniversary days of SE2. Is if you remember, I believe workers would explode into confetti, right? Am I crazy? Workers, they would have little like party hats, and I believe units would explode into confetti as well. But those are only for like the anniversaries of StarCraft. As else did you drop in? Confetti, carry cakes, party hats, yeah. Exactly. So they showed that they could like make those adjustments, but they only ever did it for like anniversaries and for like, you know, the birthday celebrations of StarCraft. Never went further than that, unfortunately. But here we go. ByuN does move out for a drop across the map. At the same time, herO looking to push in. The storms are ready. Still 4 High Templar, 4 storms. Tanks are looking solid. We have 3 tanks here on the front lines. Here come the storms. Oof, on the ramp, on the tanks as well. First tank goes down. High Templar do get targeted, but Zell's a break on through. The tanks do crumble. And here he breaks the natural. No more storms left. High Templar coming in from behind. There's so much storm potential here. Regardless, the natural has been broken. ByuN's racing back home. He's out of position. And here comes the final storm. Oh, ooh, High Templar just gets targeted. Oh, there we go. Storm goes down. Oh my god, 23 SCV kills. 23 SCVs. And even though ByuN does return, even if ByuN cleans this up, the damage has been done. 28 SCVs, more storms coming in. Yeah, storms on the bio, everything goes down. And herO breaks it. herO breaks through, the question marks are real. A storm is broken. Let's go, let's go. GG gets called, and herO will overwhelm. herO will take and extend his lead 3-1. GG. Let's go. GG, well played. But yeah, I just love the visual of the Brood War store. I think that's my favorite visual out of all the Brood War spells in StarCraft Evolution is the Brood War Storm. Like, it just hits different, man. It just hits different. We should get a storm emote. We should. The storms look very dramatic. I mean, for good reason. Everything died. Everything died, papi. Oh no. Just catching up. I didn't realize Dragoons were in this game. This is a mod. This is a StarCraft Evolution mod. This is not regular SE2, so just as a heads up, this is a different tournament mode. But here we go, we're getting into game number 5. herO, he is now 1 game away from claiming the series. I'll be honest, if you recall, coming into this, I was favoring ByuN. ByuN, he has a lot more experience. He has had a lot more games played and games broadcasted in StarCraft Evolution. herO less so. And remember, the last time he casted herO was StarCraft Evolution like a month ago, where herO did not perform too well because, I mean, self-admittedly, he did mention how it was his first time playing, how he was very inexperienced, he didn't really know what was going on, he was just having fun and playing for fun. So, I mean, his results did kind of reflect that, but here, say a month later, herO, looking a lot more informed, looking a lot more tested, a lot more practiced, and we'll see if ByuN can recover as we're jumping into our next game. Oh, let's go. As we're jumping into our next game, and similarly to Kung Fu Cup, I'm all for it. Let's go, papi. So similarly to Kung Fu Cup, we're going to be jumping into not SE2 versus Brood War, but we're jumping into Brood War versus Brood War. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Bloody Ridge, we do have the Brood War Protoss player, the Blue Protoss from South Korea. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Brood War Terran player, the Red Terran, for representing Shopify. It is ByuN. Maybe I shouldn't include this result. Then really, it shows that you should just include KFC. Is what I'm here for. Is like it's another reason to include this and Kung Fu Cup. No. But here we go. We do have some Brood War versus Brood War action instead. Now, as a quick caveat, as I always have to remind when covering Kung Fu Cup or covering events like this, It is important to bear in mind that this mod is not balanced for Brood War versus Brood War. This mod is specifically balanced and adjusted and patched for Brood War versus SC2. So because of that, there may be some irregularities or some things that aren't necessarily taken into consideration when it comes to these two races facing off against each other. What I will say though is that whenever we see Brood War versus Brood War in Kung Fu Cup, it leads to a lot more mid to late game. It leads to less like early game shenanigans and less dynamic play early on, and we get to embrace these two for a little bit longer. We'll see if that's going to be the case here though, as we're loading into Bloody Ridge, a map that is interesting to say the least. It does feel very dated. This is an old Brood War map, and I don't think it's as egregious as not Holy World, as Return of the King, but still. So what I'm getting at here, we have our main base, we have our natural, which is quite defendable. The third base location here is relatively close by ground. It is very isolated. You can see here that you can abuse this location in between the natural and the third, as it is quite far off. But overall, getting your third base is, you know, it is acceptable, I will say. More so than Return of the King. The fourth base, though, Pappy, it is so far away. Again, the fifth base as well, they're so much more difficult to maintain, specifically because of how spread out the bases are and how difficult it is to spread out your army and maintain your position on the north and southern side at the same time. We've seen many a player attempt and fail to defend these locations if they don't have map control. So we'll see if we can get to that point, if we can even think about a fourth or a fifth expansion. For now though, we're settling in. We do have our initial double factory massive vulture build. We saw this in game one, if you recall. This was the same build that we saw in game one between ByuN and herO. This is the game, or this is the build where ByuN was able to actually take his first map of the series. Meanwhile, ByuN back at home, meanwhile herO back at home, opening up 2-gate Dragoon. Dragoons, they move out across the map. They will shut down the first Marine. They head towards that natural. The spider mines are not quite done yet, so these Dragoons, they have quite a lot of potential early on. They do poke in. Vulture going to be forced back. Getting one SCV kill so far. Getting one SCV. Oh. Catching another Vulture again without spider mines. These Dragoons, they trade very well here. And also we got a full scout. We got a full scout in the main base. The boys are being pulled to repair. One Vulture does survive. The Dragoons will eventually be dealt with, but oh, he takes out another Vulture. Very nice snipe. Takes out another Vulture. And the Dragoon kiting here is solid enough. The Marines do all fall. And we're going to trade. We're going to trade here as one Dragoon finally goes down. But the strength of the Dragoons here, and we do not keep rallying. Sorry, we do keep rallying across the map. Another Dragoon is on the way. herO overextending. Oh, runs into the spider mines. Does overextend for a moment here. Still takes down the Vulture. One Vulture left. And ByuN, he won't die here. He will clean this up. He will recover. But he bled out a lot of Vultures in the defense. That was 4 Vultures going down. It also means that herO has more time to recover and to defend back at home, as he does pull back. He does fall back. ByuN, he also had to spend spider mines to actually pull off that defense, and he will expand. So ByuN, he's going to be forced to expand here. Ideally, he wanted to be more aggressive and more assertive, but now he's got a CC on the way. Oh, I'm scrambling for my phone. What are they saying, Pappy? What are they saying? Let's hazard a guess. They should buff Vultures. So according to Google Translate, it says something along the lines of, I decided to calm down, to take a seat. Vultures, they do force their way through. They take down the first Dragoon. Spider-Man's going to be thrown down to zone away. Zealot will tank shots. Nicely done. Oh! Spider-Mines, they pop off once again on the Zealots. And herO holds. herO, he does hold on. He shuts down Dragoons. He does defend. Does survive. herO, he does maintain his natural. Likewise, ByuN getting his own, still making nothing but Vultures. Now switching into tank production. We have Iron Thrusters on the way. Siege mode on the way. We're getting into an embracing mech. Here we go. So ByuN is getting to his mech. Economically, he is behind. His CC is much later than that of his opponent. So there's a lot of pressure on ByuN, going for his own drop here in towards the natural. Going for his Vulture drop. As a reminder, spider mines, they do not trigger on workers. They can kill workers with splash damage, don't get me wrong. Drops into the main. herO, he's in position. Very nicely done. Dragoon's already in the main base. They shut down the first Vulture. They shut down the second. Does throw down the spider mines. Are they going to be cleaned up? Observer has arrived. And here he holds well. He does defend very nicely here. As ByuN breaks out, throwing down additional factories. Do have our Stargate follow-up out of herO. Very interesting, going for the Stargate. I'm curious if he is just going for this just to deal with the dropship, as he knows it's still alive, or if he plans on doing something more sinister and headed towards Skytoss. Potentially. Anyway, here he does move out. He does have his Zealots locked into that shuttle. Zealot legs has not been researched. There's no Citadel. The tank line is solid, but where's the support for the tanks? Where are the vultures? Uh-oh. And here he sees. Here he does see the tank line. He sees how vulnerable it is. He can drop on top of the tanks. We've seen this before. Vultures drop back into the main. Zealots, they drop in. They try to force friendly fire. There's a mass on siege. One tank is going to be targeted. He gets one, he gets two. Yeah, two tanks go down. Boys are being pulled. And ByuN, he should be able to defend here, but still some brutal losses here for ByuN. At the same time, gets into the mineral line. Probe's going to be going down. Does get some damage done across the map. Oh, oh. Here, he's ready for the drop. Micro's probes are going down. First Marine has arrived. Shuttle will have to back off. And that's CC taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. Meanwhile, H probes went down across the map. Tank reinforcements have arrived. Dragoons, they do move in. They try to force friendly fire. Oh my god. Tank VSVs, they survive. Whew. And ByuN does hold. ByuN, he holds on. He takes his natural. Now, as ByuN retakes control of his natural base, herO takes the third. herO takes the third base. And as we had assumed, Stargate into Fleet Beacon into Carrier. Let's go. herO, he's embracing Skytoss. Again, we never really got there so far in this series. I mean, to be honest, all the games so far in this back and forth have been shorter games. Aside from Amygdala. Amygdala, we got to embrace the mid game on Amygdala, 100%. But in general, matches have been shorter. But now we are getting into a longer game, say 3-base saturation into Carrier production, and ByuN doesn't know. ByuN, he has no idea. If he sees this, he can switch into his own Goliaths. He did spot the Stargate. He has a piece of the puzzle. Does catch the Observer. Observer goes down. ByuN, he's supply blocked. Oh! Wraith pulls away. And the shuttle is going to be forced back. So ByuN, he holds, he defends. But again, he still doesn't know what's coming his way. He's still unaware of the carriers. Ay, ay, ay. ByuN, he breaks out. ByuN breaks out. herO is sitting up here just outside, trying to slow down that siege. He's up to how many? He's up to 2 carriers so far. Now, ByuN, if the carriers are revealed here defensively, then he will have time to respawn back at home with vultures. Sorry, with Goliaths. Assuming he has the armory. Oh, he doesn't. Doesn't have the armory. Tanks, they do siege up, and the carriers, they're barely out of vision. He sees, he knows. Now he's aware. the question, let's go. The question marks to the carriers. He's like, hey, let's go. Hey, that's cheating. I can't shoot up, Bobby. He cannot shoot up. Spider-Man's being turned down. They do go off here on the Zealots. Yeah, and he's going to lose everything here. He will be overwhelmed. The tanks go down. The vultures go down as well. And he was not ready for this. He has 1 Marine. GG gets called. herO, he overwhelms with the mass carrier. And again, he had no anti-air. ByuN had no idea. GG. GG, well played. herO will claim the series. Oh, actually, herO is looking to claim the series. My apologies. I was the best of 7 co-brained. herO, he is 1 game away from claiming the series. Whew, okay. 1 game away. We'll see if ByuN can bounce back. We'll see if ByuN can recover here. The pressure is on. Again, I was not expecting this series to go as heavily as it is in favor of herO, but ByuN, he has been struggling. He has been having a harder time against a lot of the aggressive nature of herO. We'll see if ByuN can recover. We shall see. Fun fact, I think the only best of 9s I've casted in recent time have been the Enki show matches, which I appreciate, which I do appreciate. Enki. But here we go. Up next, we're going to be loading into Holy World as our next game. Wow, you're a god. Oh, there you go. Let's go. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Holy World, we do have the South Korean Terran player, the Teal Terran, representing StarCraft Rebellion, down heavily in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can recover. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Brood War Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss. It is herO. Here we go. As welcome 1-0 to Holy World. Holy World is one of the more unique maps in the map pool. This is a 4-player spawn map. We have bottom right, bottom left, and top right. I just realized that we haven't actually featured many, if any, 4-player spawn maps so far in the ShowMatch. So we are checking, we are scouting here. He does check top left. He's looking for his opponent, but the biggest feature, I would say, of Holy World isn't that it's a full player spawn map. It is the fact that the main base is on the low ground. It's still crazy to see. Like, it's just such a feature of the map that we never see. It's like, it's crazy. I would say even rarer than island maps, to be honest. But yeah, it is on the low ground. High ground surrounds it entirely. We have the natural and high ground toward the left hand side. We have the pocket base. We have a pseudo pocket 4th base as well. So we have a 4-base setup, and likewise we also have these disruption webs in the center. Now, to be honest, despite the amount of games that we featured on this map, we haven't really seen the disruption webs come into play. We haven't really seen these big engagements in the center of the map as much as we otherwise would like. Instead, it's been a little bit more decisive when it comes to our 2 and 3 base play, as here is still looking for his opponent, still searching for ByuN. You know, ByuN back at home, double gas opener into his faster factory, into a delayed CC, so very safe play here by ByuN. I don't blame him. If you remember, the last time we spawned into more than a 2-player spawn map on Sylphid, herO did all in. herO did proxy. So ByuN has been scarred, he's playing it safe, looking to go Reacted Reaper Hellion. Probe Scout does confirm double gas. Probe Scout does confirm the faster factory. So here he's fully aware of what ByuN is up to. Is fully aware. ByuN finally going vultures. ByuN went vultures in game 1. Just as a reminder, did make them in game 1. That's what we did mention. We have additional Reaper Hellion on the way. Here he does reinforce. His goal here is to delay the CC. Speaking of, here we go. The Zealot is revealed. Dragoons are moving in. And the Reapers are being targeted. So far, it does zone the army away. The expansion may be denied. And while the Zealot is just going ham on that CC, here he does hit the main. Has to be careful, has to respect the production. There it is. There's a cancel. Massive pickoff. Does force a cancel. Still reinforcing, rallying everything across the map. ByuN trying to pull up for defense. Oh, he will lose his first Hellion. First Hellion goes down. And ByuN, he's in a bit of trouble here. He has to pull back. CC's being rebuilt. Mineral line is exposed. Oh. So here he pulls away, getting up to 4 Dragoons. Nice target firing, does pick off another Reaper. Yeah, Reapers are going down, getting another, oh my god, getting go to the Reaper. Gets another. SCV's gonna be falling as well. And now we're down to, we have a decent Reaper count, but the Dragoons are terrifying. They just get so many shots off, their range is insane, and it's gonna get even larger here as Singularity Charge is now done. Dragoons about to be surrounded though. Surround comes in. First Dragoon finally does fall. But they target down the Hellions. They target down the Reapers as well. Here he will trade. Behind this, here he's getting expansion on location. Still moving in, catching another Reaper. Another Reaper goes down. 6 SCVs, denied mining in the main base. ByuN, he's hurting. Does have a tank on the way. And the tank will help defend. As ByuN is just bleeding out more units. Now with the tank, he can siege, he can fortify his main. But the damage has been done. And here from here, he is content to just back off to probe up. Behind this, going into his own Reaver drop follow-up, saturating his natural. And here he has to push, sorry, ByuN has to push up a ramp to his own natural. Like that's what's crazy about this. Here he has the high ground at the natural. So this is the map working against ByuN. Like the map is working against him here. Like ByuN is gonna have a very hard time pushing up this ramp to avoid or to even work through the missed shots as well to take advantage of that natural. Here he backs up for the time being. Again, waiting for his reavers. ByuN will eventually be able to re-expand, but for now, stuck on one base. Stuck on one base. Oh, he still doesn't know. True. He still doesn't know where his opponent is. He moves out with the Reapers. He's looking for herO. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, he checks the natural locations, and he will make the correct assumption that herO is bottom left. We'll finally find him. Now retaking his natural base. herO in position. Will zone away. The Reavers have arrived. Checking the upgrades, there is still no shuttle speed. Looks like herO is going to be delaying shuttle speed in favor of the Scarab upgrade. Observer has on the setup. And we'll see if ByuN can pull off a stronger defense than what we saw in Sylphid. If you recall, Sylphid was the map where ByuN was broken. I mean, we're close by air. Very close rushes by air. On Holy World. Like from main to naturals, there's one screen. There's one screen dividing this. It's crazy. Skyshot goes off. Ooh, gets 2 SCVs. Nice, some mining time. The Liberator has arrived. And the game will continue. Whew, okay. We're backing off, we're re-expanding, we're taking our naturals. ByuN is moving out for his own harass. Shuttle does rotate towards the main base. Marines are in position. And here it does pull away. Does pull away in time. Likewise, here he does have some Dragoons somewhat in position. Probes are going to fall. Here he moved out. As he moved out, probes are... Oh my god, late reaction. Yeah, very late reaction here from herO. Going to be losing 7 probes. Almost 8. Ay, ay, ay. 7 workers go down. herO moving in. He's more concerned with his own push. He rallies everything else across the map. And we'll see if he can break this. So far, good SimCity. We have depots, eBay, bunker as well. We'll see if herO can break this. Stim is not done. Bear that in mind. So the ByuN army is not much weaker. The Liberator is being dealt with. herO, oh, he's interesting expansion. herO, he could just take his pocket bases, but no, he does take an expansion down in the open, I'm assuming. Here he moves in. Skyshot goes off on the tank. But the first Reaver is going to go down. Still takes down the tank though. Tank does fall. The Reaver survives. They're getting 7 SCV kills. Crazy damage. The Reaver does make it out. ByuN, he should be able to hold the line. And now he's on 2 tanks. Down to 1. 1 tank left. In comes another Reaver. +1 is going to be denied. Stim is going to be done here still in, what, 30 seconds. Oof. And here, he's breaking through. He's breaking through. He's busting down that front door. Takes down the final tank. The boys are being pulled, but now we're down to what? 1 Marine, 2 Marauders, barely an army. Down to 1 Marauder. Down to 0. Down to just SCVs. Yeah, just SCVs. The Viking forced to land. Desperation defense here by ByuN, losing 17 SCVs across the map. That 1 Liberator is putting in a lot of work. It does deny some mining time, but it may not matter. May not matter in the end, as ByuN is broken. And here he does step in, focuses down those Marauders, and GG gets called for the first time. No question mark. ByuN, he understood. For the first time, no question mark out of ByuN. GG, well played. herO, he will claim the series 5-1. GG. GG, well played. Oh, I say claim the series. This is a best of 9, but it looks like the players did agree to play out more matches. Okay. I have they have done this before when it comes to these show matches. When it comes to the Enki when it comes to the Enki Super Series. In the end, herO, he will claim it. But we are getting ready for more matches. We get to embrace some more matches between the two players. A little bit less on the line, as herO does already claim the series, but we get to jump into Purity and Industry up next. Let's go. Just catching up. Questioning, no question mark, Pappy. No question mark. He has no questions. He's understanding. Oh my god. ByuN should not go Bio or Vultures. He should just go 2-port Wraith. You're an animal. Oh my god. You're an animal. ByuN can play Brutal Protoss. True, true. He wants to know the power of the Protoss. But now that we're jumping into game number 2 here, sorry, we're jumping into our next game, we're going to be loading into Purity and Industry SEL. Again, there's a little bit less on the line here, but the players are more than happy to still play this out and to bring us some more StarCraft Evolution. As spawning in the bottom, or in the right-hand side, the bottom side of Purity and Industry, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the SC2 Protoss. It is herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Brutal Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Here we go. Whew. As we are settling in, herO setting up on the low ground, looking to wall up, looking to wall off. And welcome all to Purity and Industry once again. It is crazy to be back here. I'll be honest, even at the time, I didn't really get to cast too many games on Purity and Industry, just because this was one of the most vetoed maps in the map pool. This was a map active back in the day, back in 2021. I want to say like early 2021-ish era of StarCraft. Was around for like a season, then we quickly got rid of it. But it is an interesting map. We do feature a plethora of slow zones in between the main base and the main base of your opponent. There is an island here on the top side of the map, an island that can be taken, so we'll see if that comes into play. Likewise, this map has also been adjusted for StarCraft Evolution, has been updated. They removed a couple of rocks, they adjusted some of the terrain, and yeah, I still don't think I have gotten the answer, but I'm curious as to the rationale why Purity and Industry of all maps. What was the reasoning for looking at some of the older maps in the SC2 Legacy of the Void map pool and picking them to like facelift and revamp for StarCraft Evolution? It's just an interesting choice. It is an interesting choice. I mean, it is really cool to see it again, just because Purity and Industry, even again, as I mentioned, even when it was active in the tournament map pool, it was almost never played. Like it was very often vetoed and very often wasn't a part of best of 3s or best of 5s. In longer series, we got to see it like in best of 7s. And even in best of 5s as well. But yeah, there are just so many maps, right? There are so many maps throughout the history of StarCraft where they're only around for, say, a season, and then we never see them again. Meanwhile, 3x Stim. This is the build that we saw in Amygdala, if you recall. This is going to be 3x Stim. It's going to be a Stim timing. We did mention how powerful this build is and how broken this build is, and why it did get nerfed coming into the most recent patches, the most recent weeks of StarCraft Evolution. Now, despite it being incredibly powerful, we did see herO knock it down and deal with this very well on Amygdala with his Oracle-based opener, with his Stargate. He did an amazing job of just buying time and keeping this army busy and keeping it pinned back home. Here, the rush distance by ground is shorter. Here on Purity Industry, the rush distance is much shorter, so this will hit harder. At the same time, very safe opener. herO going for the Robo. I mean, he scouted. Yeah, he did scout. He is aware of the build. Robo openers, I would say, are a hard counter to this, at least in SC2. And we also saw, I want to say, Zardiant go for a Robo opener in the SCL King of the Hill and also do an amazing job at defending against ByuN. If you remember, Zardiant, he shut it down, he defended, and then he turned it into a 2-base all-in, which did fall in its face, which I wasn't too fond of. But basically, the way this build works is that we are rushing into Colossus, and one Colossus is enough to completely neuter this push. I mean, it should be enough. We saw Zardiant shut this down again quite some time ago in King of the Hill, and we'll see if herO will do the same. Now again, what I wasn't too fond of was that Zardiant did go for a 2-base all-in follow-up. With that, well, that was a little bit lackluster and left much to be desired. That's where ByuN was able to overwhelm. We'll see how herO will approach this instead. 38 seconds, that's all. Oh, never mind. My apologies. Is it longer than Amygdala? Ah. Possible. If that's the case, then I question ByuN doing this build. Amygdala is 39 seconds. So this is shorter than Amygdala. Okay. Yeah. So shorter rush distance by Amygdala. True. As ByuN, he does commit across the map. The Colossus is getting there, over halfway done. And we'll see if herO is able to pull off that defense and hold the line here before that Colossus. Meanwhile, shield battery's in position. We have some force fields. ByuN does move in, going for the shield battery itself. Force fields, they do lock down the army. Nicely done, dealing with a portion at a time. The Colossus has arrived, and you can see with the power of the Colossus, the Bio army is forced back. herO holds. herO, he does hold, he does shut this down. Again, like Colossus-based openers are more of a hard counter against Revaxes. But he's being dragged out into the open. Can ByuN punish this? Oh, steps in. Yeah, doesn't quite get it. ByuN is being completely shut down, and the Marines do fall one after the other. And yeah, he will lose everything. He will lose everything here. Very nice control by herO, making use of the terrain, cleaning up every single Marine, every single medic. And ByuN, he has nothing left. He has nothing left. Losing all of his medics, losing all of the bio. And ByuN's in a rough position. Now this build, now this opener, this style out of ByuN has completely fallen on its face. herO from here can of course now expand, get a third, build up towards a second robo. He's got a second Colossus already up and running. ByuN's in a rough place. herO even going into shuttle speed, or into war prison speed. Here we go. We are pulling away. Here he does pull away. We do have mech on the horizon here for ByuN, so switching from mass bio into mech instead. It is going to be a bit of an awkward transition here for ByuN. We can see here he checks the island. Does check the island. Speaking of, ByuN may float in that direction. He may float over. So we force a recall back home. And here, did he scout the main base? Not quite. He did see the double armory though. Yeah, he saw the double armory, so that is a massive tell that it is going to be mech out of ByuN. So here he more or less is aware of the composition. Behind this, claiming his own third base, getting a greater economy. ByuN is going to land his own third, going to be going for the low ground expansion, a little bit more exposed out in the open. We can see herO attempt to punish. Can attempt to punish. I don't think bros memorize rush distance, or at least anyone. Kind of. I think it's very much so applicable to SE2. Like if you watch a lot of the StarCraft 2 matches, the pros definitely do take into consideration the size of the map. They maybe don't memorize the rush distance, but it is often indicative of how aggressive they want to be or how macro oriented they want to be. So I would say that's definitely a factor. I would say that is not a factor to ByuN on Amygdala and on this map. For sure. I would agree with that. Ooh, as the full minute goes down, yeah, ByuN losing his drop. I mean, at the end of the day, he does want to get rid of these Marines as he's switching to mass mech, but that was a brutal loss there. Here he defends back and he shuts down the drop, getting another expansion, getting a fourth base. Here moving in. A lot of them run into autopilots. I would maybe say that sure, like as in they autopilot, like, okay, this is a rush map, so they have rush builds on rush maps and like macro on the larger ones. But I would say they usually categorize them into the two. At least based on what we've seen over the years. And here he does move in, moving into, oh no, he blinks! No! herO! He blinks into the minefield! He's crazy! Patience, is that you? Patience, you're in the military. What's going on? Oh my god. herO. He does save the Colossus, but he has to back off. Getting blinked into a tank line and into a minefield. Calm down. Calm down, Bob. Oh my god. As ByuN will defend. Despite the lead that herO has had, ByuN, he defends very nicely, very well. That was a praise that was happening. That was 13 Stalkers going down. Ay, ay, ay. For like 2 tanks? 13 Stalkers to 2 tanks. Thankfully for herO, he does preserve the Colossus at least, but against a mech composition, less effective, right? We have mass tank for ByuN. This is where Charge Shot Immortal does come into play. Charge Shot Immortal Storm. Sorry, Charge Shot Immortal Archon, I meant to say. And, ay, ay, ay. Absolute patience moment. That was a very patience moment. Yes, yes. If you know, you know. Jesus. I love patience so much. Love him so much. I think I've said this before. Someone has asked, like, if any player in the history of StarCraft can return to the game, who would it be? And I think my answer was patience. 100%. I was thinking of Impact, but I thought to myself, I explained this, I was like, I would want to see Impact back, but I also know that he's very successful as a bodybuilder, so like I wouldn't want to take that away from him. So so my answer to that would be patience. I miss him so much. He's beautiful. Protect his smile. Ay, ay, ay. As ByuN, he now defends, he's now able to expand, getting a 4th base, and now we're getting into a longer game state. Let's go. As here he does rotate. So far, ByuN just maintaining his side of the map, and we're still just maxing out on Mass Tank Vulture. Stargate is on the way. Looks like here he's thinking about switching up into Skytoss. I mean, hey, we saw it work wonders earlier on Bloody Ridge. True. As we see herO chasing him back, has to respect the mines. This time he has detection, he has the observer. Yeah, never again. Here, he has learned the hard way to respect the mines. And to respect the positioning here of ByuN. And ByuN, he's turtling up. I don't really see herO breaking this 4-base setup anytime soon. When ByuN takes a 5th base, sure, right? He'll expose himself a little bit more, and this 5th base location is going to be more exposed. But until then, I feel like ByuN is going to be very secure as he is close to maxing out. Switching up, getting into blind Goliaths. Nicely done. So he will have some anti-air against said Skytoss. Fleet Beacon is on the way. Vultures a rush past. Catching out 2 of those Immortals. Zelts, oh my god, they will tank the mine shots to the face. And mines, that will clean this up. Oh my god. Never mind. Immortals, they hold their own. herO clearing out more mines. Rotating around. The tank line here is looking a little bit weaker here for ByuN. Tank line is looking weaker. I say cleared up minefield. Actually, a lot of tanks went down here. 8 tanks, actually. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, herO moving in. The tank count very low. He drops on top of the tanks. First 2 tanks go down. And here he will break this low ground. ByuN force the counterattack. Again, the siege line is set up here further back. SCVs are going to go down. At the same time, ByuN, he will get the mineral line of herO. And does herO recall? Does he recall back home? 21 SCV kills. Now herO's going for the kill, pushing up the ramp. I was hoping for Skytoss, but we're not going to get there. Yeah, more tanks going down. There's no support. There's no support for the tanks. Vultures are across the map instead. There's no minefield. And here he does it. He does it. He breaks through the defensive line, takes down all the tanks, takes down all the vultures. Back at home, here he defends. Doesn't even have to recall. And GG. GG gets called. herO, he breaks through that line. He busts into the main. And herO extends the lead. Does extend his lead. GG. GG, well played. Again, it was a really risky maneuver for ByuN to go for the vulture counterattack. As we saw, vultures, sure, they can do well harassing across the map, but without any kind of buffer zone for those tanks, they're vulnerable. They're vulnerable, they're exposed, they go down real fast and real quick. They need that support. Looks like ByuN was heavily reliant on his minefield, but alas, even then, without those vultures, the tanks did fall, and herO takes another win. herO takes another win, and now we're getting to our next game. We're going to be loading into Vermeer. Here we go. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Vermeer, we do have the Teal Terran player, the Teal Terran himself, representing Shopify Rebellion. Down heavily in the series. We'll see if he can fight back and put some extra points on the board. Of course, herO has already taken the series, but ByuN is still here to earn some extra points. We have ByuN for Shopify. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Brutal Protoss player, the Red Protoss, leading the series quite heavily here, 5-1. We'll see if he can extend it even further. It is herO. As welcome to another 4-player spawn map. We can spawn in any corner of the map, and herO moves out with a scout. Now, so far, when it comes to these 3 or 4-player spawn maps, herO has been hyper aggressive. We saw this on Sylphid, and we saw this on Holy World as well, where herO, he will choose to be more aggressive than normal. Part of that may just be because ByuN has been a little bit greedier. Speaking of, ooh, CC first. Speaking of greed. Not even a Rax expand, CC first out of ByuN. This is the greediest build you can go for. herO will confirm, and I'm concerned for ByuN just because, again, herO, he has been specifically hyper aggressive on these multiplayer spawn maps. Also, I mean, close by ground, we have horizontal spawns. And we'll see if ByuN can get away with this. So for now, extra boys are being pulled. What's he saying? I like to hear you say, "You're an animal, Pop. You're an animal. What are you doing?" Ay, ay, ay. As the probe does dip into the main base, boys are being pulled, so it lost mine time in the main. ByuN going for a 2-Rax follow-up. But alas, I am concerned here for him. Oh, do we have any translations? Oh, he said. So ByuN, he said the shield's already full. He's talking about the shield regeneration rate on the probe. He's like, mate. It's like, how am I meant to kill the probe? Yeah, Hyper One, he's talking about it. Oh, he's listening to the stream. Aha, Esther Hyper One. Meanwhile, the Zealot has arrived. Behind this, we have additional gateways here. Dragoon rallies across the map. Dragoon does rally. That's herO, who does catch the building SCV. Getting 2 SCVs so far, delaying the bunker. Dragoon is still rallying. And here he is expanding, so he's not being anywhere near as aggressive as it was previously. Like, there's no proxy, there's no 2-gate opener, for example. Here he's getting some damage, don't get me wrong, but nothing critical, nothing crazy. ByuN still enjoys that faster CC. So he's able to get it saturated, so a much stronger economic start here for ByuN. And we'll see what this takes us. As here he does park himself outside of the bases. Likewise, yep, Robo follow-up. This should be for Reavers. Should be once again for Reaver drops. Here we go, proxy pylon being thrown down. This looks like a spotter pylon more than anything to keep an eye on any kind of drop play. To make sure that ByuN is contained. And my apologies, I saw the Robo. I assumed it was going to be a Bay for Reavers, but no, that is not the case. It is going to be into Forge, into a Citadel, into charge lots or into speed lots. Getting to Zealot legs, getting to +1, and this can lead into Storm. So here he is mixing it up. I appreciate it. I mean, in general, here he has been enjoying quite a plethora of different kind of forms of aggression or even mid-game play. Has not been too one note. The Dragoons, they do outrange the bunker. I think ByuN just realized. He's like, mate, what am I meant to do? Oh no. These mate Dragoons are broken. What's happening? As ByuN have this all supply blocked. Yeah, he does get supply blocked here. Getting introduced at 3 racks follow-up. Enki asking what's happening. I think we can infer. Yeah. Like, what is this? What is this range? As we just see herO taking another expansion, charge is on the way, or Zealot legs are on the way. Oh, Concussive Shell does catch one of the Dragoons. He gets one. Barely doesn't get the other. herO backs off. The bunker did survive. So again, here he was really just forcing some denied mining time and some repairs on the bunker. Does pull away. Does pull back. You're dipping in between the bases. Likewise, we'll reinforce. ByuN working towards his own stim timing, still a ways off. But he can still catch out a Dragoon with those Marauders. And until then, herO, he's freely teching. Still yet to go into any splash damage, which is my biggest concern. He's now focusing on his gateway composition, that is true. herO, he's tempted to dive in. Oh, does scan. Here he dives. Does dive forward, goes to the bunker. Boys are being pulled too little too late. The bunker does fall. Nice pick off. Zealot say trade well. Remember, there's no stim. Yeah, there's no stim. Marauders are being targeted. Zealot say break through the defensive line, and the boys are being pulled once again. 12 SCV kills. Already so much damage. 13 SCVs, and again, this is all before stim. This army is just so fragile. The army just doesn't really have much DPS behind it. And herO, he does it. herO, he breaks through. 22 SCV kills, a very strong Zealot timing here, and again, all before stim. As ByuN did open Concussive Shell, and even combat shields are just now finishing up. Stim done in 5 seconds. But essentially, once ByuN revealed that he had resource Concussive Shell first, I mean, it did reveal Stim was going to be even more delayed. Stim now finishes, but that's going to be after the damage. 27 SCVs. Ay, ay, ay. ByuN down to 19. ByuN with barely an economy. And here it just takes another base. He's getting a 4th. ByuN is on 2 bases, by the way. We don't even need a 4th. Calm down, herO. Calm down. Yo, do you think herO is stronger with Brutal or Protoss because he can't blink in? Like he, like he's not tempted. Like the spirit of patience can't like take over the body. Ah no. True. herO, he's buffed playing with Dragoons. The temptation is not there. Crazy. As Dark Templar have arrived, going to be sent across the map. There's a splash damage now working towards Storm. ByuN does have a 3rd orbital, thankfully. Moves out with his drop. He gets spotted. Oh no! He gets spotted. Full medevac goes down. Massive pickoff. He gets 1. He's going to get both, isn't he? Yeah, he gets both. Oh my god! The question marks are back. They're back. Oh no. herO, he's having a great time. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. As ByuN is contained. Likewise, you see herO, he breaks through that defensive line once again. It's like, oh, this is broken. Imba, baby, imba. As here, well, another 15 SCV is going to be going down. Here he breaks through the natural. I mean, the ByuN army is trading well against the Zealous. Dragoons there caught in the back line. Spending the DPS on buildings. Here comes the storm. Oh my god. Oh, the storm is crazy. The storm kills every marine. All the marines crumble. GG gets called, and herO, he will claim another win. GG. Let's go. GG, well played. herO, he will claim another. And with that, herO, he will... hold on, claim another win. And sorry, I'm just double checking something here because it is a best of 9, but might not have played all the matches themselves. Hold on, double checking. Yeah, okay. Ooh, so double checking, but it looks like they did agree to play additional games, but they did not agree to play one more final game. So, so we in the best of 9 we got up to. Oh, I apologies. I just realized. Have I always been gone? What just happened? Where am I? Where did I go? Who am I? Ah, there we go. Here we're back. But with that, GG well played. herO, he will of course claim the series. They did agree to play additional games, but no further than that. So they got up to 8 games played, and in the end, the scoreline will be 7-1 in favor of herO. So GG, well played. Congratulations. Again, a very strong showing here out of herO. ByuN, he did have some strong moments himself, don't get me wrong, but I'm not too fond of his build choices on the specific maps. I'm specifically referring to his 3-axe builds. He did go for the 3-axe on PvT and Industry and on Amygdala, both larger maps. Typically, this is the kind of style, this is the kind of build that does excel on smaller maps instead, just because of the rush distance by ground. We saw that herO had plenty of time to respond, plenty of time to react, and herO just had a really strong showing there, especially in those 2 games, harassing with Oracles in game 1 on Amygdala, and on PvT and Industry, of course, hard countering with Colossus, which we have seen before. Again, robot openers and Colossus responses are a hard counter to that side, to that build, and herO, he completely shut it down. ByuN did stabilize. He did stabilize when it came to his mech, but he was also just a little bit too, I would say, a little bit careless with his vultures, because once he left, his army was vulnerable and the tank line crumbled. Tanks are good units, but they do need support. They do need that buffer, and ByuN, he abandoned his tanks, so he lost everything, and herO snowballed into a win. GG, well played. Congratulations. Very impressive performance here by herO, and with that, herO, he will claim the first win, the first ShowMatch, the first Enki Epic Series. GG. GG, well played. A big shout to Enki, by the way. Once again, if you're just now tuning in, if you don't know who Enki is he is kind of like the main Spanish caster in StarCraft at the moment. In years past, it would be Horus, it would be Demon Sword, but right now Enki has risen to the challenge. He has taken the mantle as the Spanish caster in StarCraft for StarCraft 2 and for StarCraft Evolution as well. And again, Enki, he is near and dear to our hearts. We have a lot of history with Enki. We go way back. Enki, he's el hermoso, papi, el hermoso. And Enki did reach out for us to be the English casters for this tournament. Again, we weren't able to cast this event live, unfortunately. It was only casted in Korean and in Spanish, but we were able to cover it, at least via replays, in English. So here we go. Hopefully for the next one, we're able to be there live. We have been invited, of course, to do so, but we have otherwise been quite busy with covering other events. We haven't had as much free time, so we were able to catch up via replays. Did catch up. GG, well played. Now that was only the first half of the broadcast. We did cover our first best of 9. We have another best of 9 getting ready as well. Up next after the break, we're going to be featuring Clem versus Dark, also in the best of 9, not in StarCraft Evolution, in StarCraft 2. Here we go. Again, Dark, of course, we did feature him in a farewell show match 2 weeks ago at this point. Dark, he is going to the military soon, TM, but he has been invited to a couple of tournaments. which he will be featured in here instead. This show match, for example, between Dark and Clem, Dark, he was also invited to the Chicken King Cup over the weekend, which we're also going to be casting. So Dark, he still has a couple events he's going to be playing in before he goes to the military. So at least we have Dark for a little bit longer, and I'm happy to feature him as much as we can while we can. So much love to Dark. Much love, much love. Otherwise, congratulations, of course, to herO for winning the first show match. And again, we're going to be going on a break. I do have to set things up. Again, this is no longer the Enki Epic Series. It's going to be the Enki Super Series instead. So we'll see you guys after the break with some more StarCraft action. Let's go. Do we know if Dark is going to play in EWC? As I did just mention, Dark, he most likely is going to the military. I mean, I say most likely, he is going to the military this month. We don't know the exact date. He did say in the first half of April. So no. So Dark, he should be having his last couple of televised games over the next week or so. So unless EWC is within the next week, then yeah. Then Dark will not be a part of the Esports World Cup. But here we go. We are going to be going on a short break. So take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, and get ready for a night of StarCraft for the second half for a best of 9 between Dark and Clem. See you soon. See you soon. See you soon.